Good morning, pupils. I hope you're safe from the pandemic. Thank you for presenting your task. I received them and we're going to start with the revision immediately. But before that, I also want to thank the parents for the support that you have also accorded your pupils. So straight to number one. Number one was about rounding off to the nearest thousand. You're supposed to round off 897,465. You round off to the nearest 10,000. Round off to the nearest 10,000. So, being told to the nearest 10,000. So this is a place of value that is going to guide you in the rounding off. So you're supposed to get the number which is in the place value of 10,000. So 5 is in ones, 6 is in tens, 4 is in hundreds, 7 is in thousand, and 9 is the number which is in the place value of tens of thousand. So after arriving to this number, 10 of thousand, you're supposed to step one step to consider the number behind, which is 7. Then see whether it is more or less 5. If it is more than 5, then you're supposed to add 1 to the number in front of it and make that number 0 and all the numbers behind them to be a 0. Then if you add 1 to 9, that gives you 10. You carry 1, gives you 9. So 897,465 rounded off to the nearest 10,000 is 900,000. According to the choices, that was choice cut. I hope you've all understood that one, and I beg to move to number 2. Number 2, the question was, what do we multiply 0.0265 to get to 26.5. So we've dealt with decimals, and we've always said that for a decimal to shift, it requires a 10. So a decimal will shift one time, either to the right or to the left, depending on the number of tens, or whether you're multiplying or dividing. So having that we are supposed to multiply, so you're just supposed to check how many times will the decimal shift in order to be between 6 and 5. So from the position it is, so it shifts to 1, 2, 3. So for it to be between 6 and 5, it shifts 3 times. And 3 times, those are 3 tens, and 3 tens, that is 1,000. So for you to make 26.5 from this number, you're supposed to multiply 0.0265, you multiply by 1,000, which will give you 26.5. The decimal shifts 3 times. So that was so easy, but that was the concept of shifting the decimal. Then to number 3. Number 3, 3 bells ring at an interval of 30 minutes. So the intervals at which these bells ring is 30 minutes. So let's give that bell A. Bell B will ring after 40 minutes. And bell C rings after 1 hour. So you're asked if they rang together at 8:30. So the previous time they rang together was at 8:30. So the question is, when will they ring together again? At what time will they ring together again? So the first thing you should do is first get the duration of time that they are going to take for them to ring together. And then from the previous time, you add to get the next time they will ring together again. And now to get that duration that they will take to ring together, you're supposed to find the LCM of the intervals. So you find the LCM of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, And because this is in hours and the rest are in minutes, so you change this 1 hour into minutes. So that means you multiply by 60 because 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So that will give you what? 60 minutes. So we are finding the LCM of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and 60 minutes. So the first prime number we are going to pick is 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15, 40 divided by 2 is 20, 60 divided by 2 is 30. 2 again, this is 15, impossible, so 20 divided by 2 is 10, 30 divided by 2 is 15. Again, we pick 2 because of 10, so 15, 5, 15. Then from there we step to 3 as the next prime number. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 divided by 5 is impossible, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then 5 divided by 5, 1, 1, 1. So the LCM is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 times 5 is 120. So that means that the interval, LCM of the interval is 120 minutes. If you convert this one into hours, you divide by 60, that gives you 2 hours. So they will take 2 hours to ring together again. So if we consider the previous time they ran together at 8:30, we add 2 hours, so that gives you what? 8:30 a.m. plus 2 hours, so 0, 3, 10. 10:30, remember this is in AM, so they will ring together again at 10:30 a.m. I hope that is understood. But if they had asked, if the question was, after how long will they ring together again? That one would be after 2 hours. But being specific, they want the next time they will ring together again, so you have to add the duration, which we have found the LCM as 120, that is 2 hours. We add it to the previous time they ran together, which gives you 10:30 as the time they will ring together again. Thank you. I hope that is understood. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, the question was 0.54 times 7.2 times 0.24. That one divided by 0.06 times 0.36 times 0.4. I'm happy that this question registered so many pass. Most of you were able to get this sum correct. And as we said, you're supposed to consider the number of decimal places on the uppercase and on the lower case. The uppercase has how many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 decimal places. The lowercase has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 decimal places as well. So this one is so easy because you're multiplying with the same figure. No, there's no side which has the highest decimal places. All of them, they're the same. So we multiply by 5 decimal places are 5 tens, and 5 tens, that is 100,000. So times 100,000, and on the lowercase, the same, times 100,000. So when you multiply that one, shift the decimal, 1, 2, 2 zeros are gone. This gives you 54. 1 0 is gone, so it gives you 72. 1, 2, that gives you 24, and 2 zeros are gone. All over 1, 2, 2 zeros are gone, that gives you 6 times 1, 2, 2 zeros are gone, gives you 36 times 1 0, shift the decimal is gone, so times 4. And then you simplify by cancelling, by 36 1, by 36 2, by 6 1, by 6 4, by 4 1, by 4 16. No 16, sorry, 14. 14. So this gives you 14 times 2 times 4. So 14 times 2, that is 28. 28 times 4, that gives you 2, carry 3, that is 10, 102. No, it's somewhere wrong, somewhere. So let's do this one again. 54 times 72 times 24 all over 6 times 36 times 4 by 36 1 by 36 2 by 6 1 by 6 9 by 4 1 by 4 6. So 9 times 2, that is 18. 18 times 6, that is 108. Sorry for such a mistake. There was a mistake somewhere. That was number 4. Let's go to number 5. This was so easy. Number 5. What is the smallest number that can be added to 4,563 to make it divisible by 11? So the smallest number that you add to 4,563 to make it divisible by 11. So I told you pupils, what you're supposed to do is first divide this number by 11, and then the remainder determines the number to add and the number to subtract. So this is 4,563, you divide by 11. 11 goes how many times? Into 45, goes 4 times because of 44. Remainder 1, drop 6. 11 goes 1 time because of 11. Remainder 5, drop 3. 11 goes 4 times because of 44. Remainder 9. So this is the number to be subtracted. If they had asked the number to subtract, 9 would be the number to subtract. But they had asked the number to add. So you ask yourself, from these 9, the remainder, what do you add to 9 to make it 11? What do you add to 9 to make it 11? The divisor. So as far as that is concerned, that is 11 minus 9, 2. So you're supposed to add 2. But if you had been asked, the number to subtract would be 9. But the number to add is 2. I repeat. So for the case of adding, then from the remainder, you ask yourself, what number are you supposed to add to 9 to make it the divisor? Or what are you supposed to add to the remainder to make it the divisor? But if it's the number to subtract, then the remainder is the number to subtract. The remainder is always the number to subtract. So that one was also very easy. Most of you registered a correct answer. Then number 6, it was workout. Workout 21,536. You subtract 38,481. You add 2. 45,972. So I've ever told you that every number has a sign, or every number bears a sign with it. So if you consider this number, our first number, 21,536, that's a positive number. 38,481, it's a negative number. And 45,972 is a positive number. So in this case, I said BODMAS must come in. BODMAS must come in because we are involving more than one operation sign. We have addition and subtraction. So according to BODMAS, addition always comes first before subtraction. But now, what do we need to add? We need to add the like terms, the numbers which bears a positive number. That being what? 21,536, you add to 45,972. So let's do the sum. 21,536, we add 45,972. That gives you 8, 0, carry 1. That is 14, 15, 5 carry 1, 7, 6. So after now getting this as the sum of the positive numbers, the sum of the two positive numbers, now you can subtract as our final operation sign. Now we subtract 38,481. So let's subtract that one, 38,481. 8 minus 1, that is 7. 0 minus 8, impossible, so borrow 1 from 5 gives you 4. This is 10 minus 8, that is 2. 4 minus 4, 0. 7 minus 8, impossible, borrow 1 from 6 gives you 5. 17 minus 8, that's 9. 5 minus 3, that is 2. So the answer was 29,072. Now, contrary to some of us who first, I don't know what they did, but they got a different answer. But in such a case, you're supposed to, by the way, 21,536 cannot subtract 38,481. So that means that you are supposed to automatically first get the sum of the positive numbers and now subtract the negative number. And that was giving you 29,027. Let's go to number 7. I intend not to waste a lot of your time. Number 7, Rukia spends a third of her day at school. So a third of her day at school. Then a quarter of her day doing homework. A quarter doing homework. And 3/8 sleeping. 3/8 of her day sleeping. And you're told that and the rest of the time playing. And the rest of the time playing. And so playing is the rest. But now this time in fraction is not given to us. So you're asked, what fraction of the day does she spend on playing? So you're finding the fraction of her day that she spends on playing. Now, so we must get the sum of all this now. The sum of the time that she spends at school, the sum plus the time that she spends doing homework, plus the time that she spends sleeping. So that will give you a third plus a quarter plus 3/8. So you add that one. That means you find the LCM. The LCM of 3, 4, and 8 is 24. So 24 divided by 3 is 8 times 1, 8 plus 24 divided by 4, 6 times 1, 6 plus 24 divided by 8, that is 3. 3 times 3, 9. So this gives you what? 8 plus 6, 14. 14 plus 9, 23/24. So all this time which has been stipulated or has been given, that means that the total is 23/24. Now, what does 23/24 give you? 24 here, being the denominator, tells you that the whole is 24/24. So the whole day is 24/24. Where am I getting 24 from? That this denominator gives you the whole. Now, a whole, we know that a whole is a number over itself. So 1 whole is this fraction, 24/24 as a fraction. Now, this one being the whole now, we take now what has been, what we have found as the sum of the time spent on school, homework, and sleeping, which is 23/24. We subtract from the whole so that we get the time that she spends on playing. So that is 24 the whole over 24 minus 23/24, which gives you what? Gives you 1/24. So the fraction that she spends on playing, which is the rest now, is 1/24, and that was the answer. So the fractions for playing is 1/24. I hope that is understood. I might clarify that one later. Now, which of the following is equal to 7/8? That's number 8. Which fraction is equal to 7/8? So 7/8. You're trying to find an equivalent fraction of that one. Now, from the given choices, 21/24, 21/32 as choice B, 49/48 as choice C, and 14/18 as choice D. Now, For you to get an equivalent fraction of any fraction, you're supposed to multiply the numerator and the denominator by a common number. So we are supposed to check whether, these fractions, which of these fractions has been multiplied, or which fraction here has been multiplied by 7/8 to get this one. And the best thing to get an equivalent fraction of this one is to simplify these fractions. Now, when you simplify 21/24, the common divisor of 21 and 24 is 3. So by 3 is 7, by 3 is 8. Obviously now we've actually got the what? We've got the equivalent fraction of that one, which is 7/8, because we have used a common divisor to divide that one. Alright, so if we divide this, if we simplify 21/32, maybe common divisor here will be, actually there is no common divisor of 21 and 32. There is no common divisor of 21 and 32. So this one cannot be as an equivalent fraction of 7/8. 49/48, common divisor of 49 and 48. I don't think they share a common divisor. 49 and 48, they don't share common divisor. 14 and 18. If you want to simplify that one, maybe by 2, because these are even numbers. So by 2, 7, by 2, 6. 7/6 is not the same as 7/8. So that means that the equivalent fraction of 7/8 is 21/24. And that is it with number 8. It was so easy. Number 9, decrease. Number 9 was decrease 60 by 60%. Decrease 60 by 60%. Now let's say maybe 60 shillings, 60 goats, 60 cattle, 60 books. You're decreasing by 60%. Now, what I always tell my learners is that this is the number we are decreasing. So right now, 60 is at its full amount or full quantity. So 60 is 100%, because right now it is at its full amount or full quantity. And you always say that full amount is 100%. So this 60, maybe 60 cattle or 60 goats, is 100%. Now we are decreasing it by 60%. So if we decrease 60, which is 100%, by 60%, that means our new percentage will be 100% minus 60%, which gives you what? 40%. So our new percentage is 40. And this is now what we want to find. What will be the new amount after we decrease 60 by 60%. So I've said 60 is 100% because it is at its full quantity or full amount, which is 100%. Now, when you decrease, that means you're subtracting by 60%. That means that the new percentage will be 40. So what is 40%? If 60 is 100%, what about 40%? What will be the new amount? So that is 60 times 40 over 100. We are cross multiplying. So 0 and 0 cancels, 0 and 0 cancels. That gives you what? 24. Now, I've checked your work, and most of you are trying to fix it all the way to appear 24. But this is what you're supposed to do as far as that question is concerned. So, those of you and most of you have seen that a certain question I was putting a star. I have put a lot of stars in your work. Maybe because you have the answer, yes, but I cannot see how you arrived to that answer. I cannot see the calculation. So next time try to clarify the work and show each and every bit of your calculations. Then we go to number 10. Number 10 was solve. Is number 10. So solve 3/4 x plus 3.5 is equals to 4/5x. This is also another question that some of you are trying to fix the answer. I don't know how they got it as 70, but they were just trying to show a bit of calculations, and then they just arrived to 70, even without precise calculations. But this is what you're supposed to do. This is algebra. And when you talk of algebra, it involves putting the like terms together. And now here you're solving. That means you're finding the value of x. So the first thing is you're supposed to put the x's together. So we connect the like terms together. This is 3/4 x, which is positive. I said a number or any number, a fraction must have a sign, a positive sign or a negative sign. So for 3/4 here, it's positive. So we shift it to the other side where there is x. When we shift it to the other side, the positive sign will become a negative. I've told you that. When a positive sign crosses the equal sign, it becomes a negative. And when negative sign crosses the equal sign, it becomes a positive sign. So this will be minus 3/4 x. So our new sum will be, our new format will be 3.5 is equals to 4/5 x minus 3/4x. So we find the LCM here. The LCM will be 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4 times 4, that is 16, minus 20 divided by 4, is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So this will give us 3.5 is equals to 16 minus 15, that is 1/20. What? X. So it's equals to 1/20x. There's no space. I beg to move to the other side. And I hope that all these sums that you have done, you have noted where you went wrong, and you can do the correction even without my help. So we've our final. I beg our final answer there was 3.5 is equals to 1/20x. So here we are dealing with a mixed fraction and an improper fraction. With a proper fraction. So we first change this one into an improper fraction, which gives you 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7/2 is equals to 1/20. I've ever told you that any time a fraction is attached to an unknown letter, you're supposed to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this fraction. So we multiply this side by 20/1 and the other side the same by 20/1. So 20 and 20 cancels, 1 cancels. So we are left with x is equals to by 2, 1 by 2, 10. 10 times 7 is 70. So the value of x was 70. The value of x was 70. So it all started from here. This 3x, 3/4 positive, 3/4x positive plus 3.5 is equals to 4/5x. So we've said that you put the like terms together. So 3/4 x positive to move to the other side, which will become minus now. When you work out that 4/5x minus 3/4x, that has given us 1/20x. So on this side we had 3.5 is equals to 1/20x, and then we have tried to solve x. So which we've changed this one into an improper fraction, has given us 7/2 is equals to 1/20. Because you want x, so I said you multiply both sides by the reciprocal of that fraction. And the reciprocal of 1/20 is 20/1. So, and on the other side times 20/1, which gives you 70. Then I move to number 11. 11. I'm sorry, maybe this was just a sum that appeared in our test, but I'm sure we have not gone up to this far on hire purchase. but maybe if I briefly introduce you to hire purchase is a way of buying goods without paying the full amount, but there is always a certain amount that you pay first, we call the deposit, and then the rest of the amount that you've not paid, you pay it in bits of months or in installments of months. So, so hire purchase actually is always made of the deposit plus the total monthly installments. That is how you achieve buying something on hire purchase. The deposit, that is the amount of money you paid first, plus all the amount of money that you pay per month. So that is the total monthly installment. Now this is a TV. So the hire purchase price of a TV set was of a deposit of 3,000 shillings. So the deposit, you've been told that the deposit, this person went to buy a TV and the deposit he paid was of 3,000 shillings. And then you're told that, and 6 monthly installments of 1,500 each. So we're told that each monthly installment was of 1,500. And for how many months did he pay this amount? For 6 months. So the number of months is 6 months. So if you were to get the total monthly installment, it will be each monthly installment, that is of 1,500, times the number of months. So the number of months is 6. So each monthly installment 1,500 times the number of months 6 times 6. So if the total monthly installment was of that is 1,500 times 6, that is 8,000. So for 6 months, it's 9. Oh, sorry for that. That is 9,000. I'm sorry. So 1,500 times 6, that is 9,000. So the total monthly installment was 9,000. And I'll say that this is the amount of money that he paid for 6 months, and each month paying 1,500. So each month paying 1,500 for 6 months, that would be 9,000. Now, let's calculate the hire purchase price. The hire purchase price, we said, is the deposit plus the total monthly installment. Deposit was 3,000. So the hire purchase price will be the deposit plus the total monthly installment. Deposit of 3,000 plus the total monthly installment of 9,000. So that gives you what? That gives you 12,000. So that TV on hire purchase price, it was bought at 12,000. It was bought at 12,000. But now, if the hire purchase price was 20% more than the cash price, how much was the cash price? We are told that this one, being the hire purchase price, it was 20% more than the cash price. So they've asked us to find the cash price. Now, the cash price is always at 100%. The cash price is always at 100%. So if the hire purchase price, we have been told that it is 20% more than what? Than the cash price. And the cash price, I've said, is what? Is 100%. So what is 20% more than 100%? What is 20% more than 100%, which is the cash price? So that is 100% plus 20%, which is 120%. So the hire purchase price, which we found as 12,000, that means it is 120%. Why? Because we've been told that the higher purchase price was 20% more than the cash price. The cash price being 100%. 20% more, it will be 120, and that is the cash price. The higher purchase price. And the higher purchase price, we've calculated it as 12,000, which now will be 120%, because it is 20% more than the cash price, which is 100%. So 12,000 is 120%. Now we are told to find the cash price, and the cash price is 100. So from this argumentative statement, 12,000 is 120%, which is the higher purchase price. So what about 100%, which is the cash price, will be how much? So this is 12,000 times 100 over 120. So 0, 0 cancels, by 12, 1, by 12, 1,000. 1,000 times 10, that is 10,000. 10,000. So that means that the cash price was 10,000. The cash price was 10,000. So that is it with number 11. Number 12. But don't worry if in any case this one is a bit complicated. I know we are not yet to that topic, but sooner or later we are going to understand this better. But what you need to know that is higher purchase price is made of the deposit plus the total monthly installment. And the total monthly installment, we say it is each monthly installment times the number of months. And each monthly installment means the amount of money that you pay per month. So that multiplied by the number of months will give you the total monthly installment, which you add to the deposit that you paid first to get the higher purchase price. Then number 12. I don't intend to keep you so much, so just give me your time. If you're bored, you can get a glass of water as we continue. Now the circumference of a circle is 88. The circumference of a certain circle is equal to 88 centimeters. Find the area of the circle. Find the area of the circle. Find the area of the circle. Now, to find the area of the circle, finding area of the circle is equal to pi r squared. That is 22 over 7 times radius squared. So that means that we must get the radius of this circle, which has a circumference of what? 88. So circumference means what? The distance around this figure is 88 centimeters. So that means that we must use our circumference here to get the radius, and then use that radius to find the area of that circle. But before we find the radius, then we must ask ourselves, how did they get 88 centimeters as the circumference of that circle? So circumference of the circle, they say, they use this formula, is equal to pi d, or pi times diameter. So 88, which is the circumference, is equal to 22 over 7 times the diameter, which we don't know. We don't know the diameter of that circle. We've only been given the circumference. Now we want to use this circumference to get the diameter, and after getting the diameter, we get the radius, and getting the radius, now we can get the area of that circle, because area of the circle is equal to pi r squared. So this will be 88 is equal to 22 over 7 times d, that is 22 over 7 d. What did I say? As far as a certain known letter is attached to a fraction, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the fraction. So times 7 over 22 times 7 over 22. 7 and 7 goes 22, and 22 cancels. So it gives you what? Diameter is equal to by 22, 1, by 22, 4. That gives you 7 times 4 is 28. So that means that the diameter of that circle, the diameter of this circle is 28 centimeters. So what is the radius? Divide the diameter by 2. So that means that the radius is 14 centimeters. Now, from there, we can get the area because we have the radius. How do you find the area of a circle? Area of a circle is equals to pi r squared. That is pi times radius squared. So that is 22 over 7 as the pi times radius squared. That is 14 times 14. That is what it means by radius squared. Radius you know what is to square a number, is to multiply a number by itself. So by 7 2. So 22 times 2, that is 44. 44 times 14, that is 616 centimeters squared. So the area of that circle is 616 centimeters squared. That was choice a boy. Number 13. Number 13. You're told that the speed of a car is 100 and the speed of a certain car is 108 kilometers per hour. Is 108 kilometers per hour. What is the speed in meters per second? What is this speed? What is the speed of that car in meters per second? Now remember, speed is either expressed in kilometers per hour or in meters per second. So in this, it means that this car covered 108 kilometers in 1 hour, but they need us to find that speed in meters per second. Now I gave you the conversion statement and I told you that 5 meters per second is equals to 18 kilometers per hour. 5 meters per second is always equal to 18 kilometers per hour. Now, some of you, they were trying to mix numbers, and finally arrive at 30 meters per second. Some of you were even writing that 18, no, they wrote one. They were writing 18 meters per second is equals to 5 kilometers per hour. That is wrong. We say that the conversion statement is this: 5 meters per second is equals to 18 kilometers per hour. So what about 108 kilometers per hour will be how many meters per second? You cross and multiply, that is 5 meters per second times 108 kilometers per hour over 18 kilometers per hour. So by kilometers per hour cancels with kilometers per hour. By 18 1, by 18 6. So 5 meters per second times 6, that gives you 30 meters per second. 30 meters per second. I told you, and if you can remember, I even circled this one when I was teaching you, and we say that 5 meters per second is equals to 18 kilometers per hour. So you can convert meters per second to kilometers per hour and vice versa, depending on what you've been asked to. Number 14 was a challenge to so many of us. It's also a question that I saw people fixing the answers, but let's go through it. The charges of sending a telegram are 18 shillings for the first 10 words. 18 shillings for the first 10 words. For the first 10 words. Then you're told that, or part thereof, any word after 10 words is charged 70 cents per word. Each extra word is 70 cents. That is the statement. They say that any word after 10 words is charged at 70 cents per word. So what is the total amount? What is the total amount rounded off to the nearest shilling? What is the total amount rounded off to the nearest shilling? So how much was paid for the following telegram? Kimani Mwangi, box 235
3, Nairobi, visiting Mount Longonot National Park on 10th October, send fare Waititu. So let's count the number of words in this telegram. Kimani, 1. Mwangi, 2. Box, 3. 2353, that's the fourth word. Nairobi, 5. Visiting, 6. Mount, 7. Full stop there is a word. 8. So this full stop is considered to be a word. Any abbreviation is a word. So that is 8. Longonot, 9. National, 10. Park, 11. On, 12. 10. 13. October, 14. Sen, 15. Fair, 16. Waitito, 17. So that telegram contains 17 words. That telegram contains 17 words. That telegram contains 17 words. Sorry for that. So 17 words. Now, let's first calculate for the first. We are told that it is 18 shillings. 18 shillings for the first 10 words. So from the 17 words, we subtract 10, the first 10 words, which we pay what? Which we pay 18 shillings. I hope you are together. So the telegram we say contains 17 words. But the first 10 words, you pay 18 shillings. So from that, let's first pay for the first 10 words, which is 18 shillings. So how many words remain? 17 minus 10, that is 7. So 7 words now. These are the what? The extra. 7 words are the extra words. And what are we told? That each extra word is 70 cents. So take the 7 words times 70, which gives you what? 490 cents. 490 cents in shillings and cents. If you divide by 100 here, it is 4 shillings and 90 cents. So this is for the extra words. So let's continue here. So what will be the total pay for that telegram? So the first 10 words, that person paid 18 shillings. Then extra words, 7 extra words. 7 extra words. You have seen that there were 7 extra words, and each word you're supposed to pay 70 cents. So 7 times 70, that is 490 cents. And 490 cents in shillings and cents, that is 4 shillings and 90 cents. So we add to 18 shillings. So 18 shillings plus 4 shillings and 90 cents. It will give you what? 0,922. 22 shillings and 90 cents. 22 shillings and 90 cents. How much was, but the question was, the total amount is rounded off to the nearest shilling. The total amount is rounded off to the nearest shilling. So the total amount is 22 shillings and 90 cents. So what is this rounded off to the nearest shilling is, so if you consider 90 as a part of cents, these are more than 50, and if it is more than 50, that means you take it to the next shillings, that is 23 shillings. So the amount that he paid for that was 23 shillings. We have 2 more questions to go. Number 15, so I hope that one is understood and you can follow all the way from here. It will guide you. Then number 15 was, what is the value of x? What is the value of x? So this is 3x minus 4 over 2 plus a half is equals to 3. So I always tell my pupils, these are 3 groups. These are group on its own, this is another group, this is another group. And because we want to do this sum, or we want to work out these digits together, then that means that they should share something in common. Now, I always tell my pupils to find the LCM of these denominators. So 3 here being a whole number, we provide a denominator 1. So you find the LCM of 2 and 2 and 1. The LCM of 2, 2 and 1, that is 2. Now, each group, you multiply it by the LCM. So the LCM, we've said that the LCM is 2. So we multiply this group times 2, and this group by 2, and this times 2. We have said, we started by saying there are 3 groups. This group and this group and this group. So this is a group on its own, a half is on its own, and 3 is on its own. But now to put them together, they need to share a common LCM. So the LCM of 2 and 2 and 1 is 2. So we multiply each group by the LCM. So this group times 2 by 2, 1 by 2, 1. So we are multiplying this one by 1. So 3x times 1, this is 3x, minus 4 times 1, that is minus 4. Plus by 2, 1 by 2, 1. So this is 1 times 1, which will be plus 1, is equals to 3 times 2 is 6. I repeat, we have multiplied each group by the LCM. So the LCM is 2. 3x minus 4 by 2 times 2. So by 2, 1, and 2 and 2 cancels, by 2, 1, by 2, 1. So this group, you're opening it by 1. Through 3x minus 4 times 1, that is 3x minus 4. Then a half times 2. This is another group, so you're also multiplying it by the LCM. So a half times 2 by 2, 1 by 2, 1. That is 1 times 1, which is 1. Then 3 times 2, which is 6. Now, we collect the right terms together. So this is 3x minus 4 plus 1. So you can shift them to the other side, or first work out, get a common answer here. So this will be 3x minus 4 plus 1. Minus 4 plus 1. I've taught you the ideology of what? Of the money. So this will be minus 3. This will be minus 3. Or you can shift them to the other side, where there is the same term. So negative 4 to the other side will be plus 4. We say that when a negative sign crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. Then positive 1 to the other side, it will be minus 1. So now we can work out 3x on this side is equals to 6 plus 4, that is 10. 10 minus 1, that is 9. So we want to find the value of x, so we divide both sides by 3, and this side also by 3. So the value of x is equals to what? By 3, 1, by 3, 3. So the value of x is 3. So that concept of grouping these numbers together by making them share a common LCM, that is the way to go about this sum. So next time you have it, please just handle it that way. The next sum was, you're told to calculate the area. So to so many of us maybe who did not know how to go about this sum, so pay attention and follow each and every step I'm going to take. So centimeters, this is in meters, and then 8x plus 2, and this is in meters, and then the width of this rectangle is 3.5x. This one is in meters. Now, so most of the times, whether they give you a rectangle or a square or a triangle, there must be those opposite sides which are equal, and they give you the measurement of those sides in algebraic expression. So what we know is that a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So this side is equal to this. This side, measurement of this side is the same as the measurement of this side. And this width is equal to the other one on this side. So the way out here is knowing that if these two sides are equal, then the expression of the measurement in of the two sides, then they should be equal. And this is, we form an equation and equate the two sides, that the measurement of this side is the same as the measurement of this side. And the measurement of this side is given in algebraic expression, which is the same as the other side. So I would form an equation and say 3x into bracket 2x plus 6 is equals to, the measurement on the other side is equals to 8x plus 2. So when you open the brackets here, this will be 6x plus 18 is equals to 8x plus 2. I started by saying the reason as to why we formed this equation, that 3x plus 6 is equals to 8x plus 2, is because these two sides are equal. So if this, for instance, was 25 centimeter, this one will also be 25 centimeter. And then to find the value of x, then we have to equate these two expressions, that the expression of this side is the same as the expression on the other side. So which gives you such an equation. Now we are solving the equation. We put the like terms together. So this will be 6x to shift to the other side is positive, remember. So it will be minus, so 8x minus 6x. Then positive 2 to shift to the other side, it will be minus, because a positive sign, when it crosses an equal sign, it becomes negative. So it will be 18 minus 2. So is equals to 18 minus 2 is 16, is equals to 8x minus 6x. That is 2x. Find the value of x, divide both sides by 2. So x gives you what? The x is 8. So the value of x is 8. Now, having known having got the unknown letter, which is x as 8, now we can do something called the substitution. So, what if x is 8? 2x will be what? 2x will be 16, right? Plus 6, which is 22. 22 times 3. I hope you're getting that. We are finding the measurement of this side, the exact measurements of this side. So the value of x is 8. So 2x will be 16. That is 2 times 8. 2x. So 2 times 8, that is 16. 16 plus 6, that is 22. 22 times 3, that is 66. So the measurement of this side is 66 meters. Let's see whether we'll get 66 on the other side. Let's see whether it will give us 66 on the other side. So 8x, the value of x is 8. So 8x will be what? 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 plus 2, that gives you what? 66. So that means that the value of x we found is correct. And see that these two sides, they measure the same, because opposite sides of a rectangle, they are equal. Now, we get the width. Now, x is, the value of x is 8. So 3.5x, that is as an improper fraction, is 7 over 2 times 8. 7 over 2 times 8, the x. So by 2, 1, by 2, 4. 7 times 4 is 28. So the width measures 28. Now, let's find the area. We have been asked to find the area. Area of a rectangle is equals to length times width. The length is 66 times a width of 28. 66 times 28, that gives you 1848. 1848 meters square. 1848 meters square. So that was the answer to that question. Number 17, our last question. Our last question in our revision. We are told that what is the value of 2 over 3 plus a half of, open the brackets, a half minus a sixth, close the brackets, divide by 2 over 3 plus a quarter. Now, this one is operation of fractions involving more than one operation sign. So we are having addition, we are having off, we are having brackets, we are having subtraction, we are having division, we are having then addition. So that means that we must ask help from these guy we call who? The BODMAS. So we have to work out this sum in this order. So according to BODMAS, the bracket comes first. So what is inside the bracket is a half minus a sixth. So a half minus a sixth, the LCM of 2 and 6, that is 6. 6 divided by 2, 3 times 1, 3, minus 6 divided by 6 is 1, 1 times 1, 1. That gives you 2 over 6. Now I said, don't get tired. Keep on arranging this sum anew for you to find out or to come up with the final answer. So this is 2 over 3 now, plus a half of what we have obtained from the brackets is 2 over 6. Maybe you can simplify if you want, by 2, 1, by 2, 3. So a half of a third, that is from the brackets, divided by 2 over 3 plus a quarter. Then from there, off. Off is a half of a third. Off means multiplication. So that is a half times a third, which gives you what? 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. So from the off operation, we've got a sixth. So arrange this sum again, 2 over 3 plus a sixth divided by 2 over 3 plus a quarter. Don't get tired. Then division is our third operation. Division involves a sixth, you divide by 2 over 3. So as we know, the first fraction remains the same, a sixth. Then the division side changes to multiplication, which makes you reciprocate the second fraction. So 2 over 3 reciprocate, that will be 3 over 2. So by 3, 1, by 3, 2. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. So from the division, you have obtained a quarter. Arrange that sum again, 2 over 3 plus a quarter. Remember, from this we've got a quarter plus a quarter. Now, from there, we don't have multiplication, we have addition, and all this involves addition. So we add this fraction to that plus a quarter plus a quarter. The LCM of 3, 4, and 4 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 1, 3 plus 12 divided by 4 again is 3 times 1, 3. That gives you 8 plus 3 plus 3, that is 14 over 12. Now, you cannot give your answer as this. Maybe you can even simplify first, but it will still be an improper fraction. By 2, 7. By 2, 6. 7 over 6 is still improper, so you change this one into a mixed fraction. 7 divided by 6. 6 goes how many times in 7? 1 time, because of 6 remainder 1. So the answer is the whole number. Top number is the whole number. Then the numerator is 1 over 6. And that was the answer board. So that brings us to the end of our revision. It has been quite a wonderful time. Being at home now, you can follow that revision and do the corrections. While you have a problem, you can just give me a call and then I'll explain better. So for that, I want to thank you for the wonderful work. May we see each other later. Bye.